So what we really appreciated about the reimagining governance piece was the permission to blow it up. Right. And so not saying we're going to do it, but to say, let's just set aside what you've been doing and let's just think about what's possible and what is your organization trying to accomplish. And then let's look at how governance falls into place based on that. So I think just giving people permission to say, we can think about a different kind of structure, we can think about a different approach to governance is really important at the initial onset of the process. Without this process, I fear we would have been in a situation where we simply were just saying, okay, we need to reduce the size of the board. We need to just change the board. And that's too small. We needed to think bigger, and then in order to get to, okay, we actually do need to change the size of the board. But because we've identified this is what is important for our organization, not just because, there's just too many board members. Like, that's not the reason you want to undertake a change in your governance.
I think that for me, the richness of the process really came through the conversations, and our group didn't always have consensus, right? We were not always we were not working towards consensus. We were working towards exploring options, and we were working towards identifying new areas of consideration. And so sometimes the best conversations were those where the perspectives were really divergent, but that's where the richness and the value of this process really comes from, that really bringing together of unique perspectives.
We're in a process right now where we're saying, how do we get from what we've been doing to something that is new? And of course, part of that is engaging our broader membership. So we have to figure out, how do we work with our members to say, here's what we're doing, here's what we're working on. We want your input into this because we'd like to make this change. And quite bluntly, I think with many organizations, they are like, as long as it's taken care of, we don't care. We want to do this with your organization. But how do we engage our members so that they're excited about the fact that we're going to change our board, our governance structure? I think in order to get there, there's some consultation that we have to do. And I think there's some relief that's going to happen. Again, we are at a point, we have a large board. They're involved not just on the board, they're involved in other initiatives of the organization. And I really, truly think people will welcome this kind of a change because of that factor. So the opportunity for folks to be clear about what they're volunteering for and want that. Really, logistically, we've got to look at our bylaws. We've got to look at, how do we change our bylaws and change our structure at the same time. And that's kind of what we're in the midst of right now, is sorting through, what does this look like?